Okay, so tell me about this New York State Rifle and Pistol Association decision,
Bruin.
because that was huge news to come out. I mean, personally, I wanted them to roll back US v. Miller then, and let's just go back to the no regulation zone. Let's get there and have, you know, every potential gun regulation is weighed in. It should be strict scrutiny, in my opinion. I just don't know how they get around that it's got to be strict scrutiny. And now I think it is, right? After this decision, effectively,
if applied faithfully.
Right.
And remember, like, so we're talking about, and they said there's two things in Bruin, because they were dealing with a state statute, which, so they're like, okay, well, so first we look at the stuff around the founding era, and then we look at the stuff around the antebellum era.
Sure.
You know, after the War of Northern Aggression. So it was,
damn it.
You know, and these are two, these are what? No, these are two different things, right? Because when it's a state regulation, the Second Amendment wasn't incorporated against the state until after the War of Northern Aggression. However, when you're dealing with federal law, I don't think it's the same question.
Yeah, I don't think you get to apply 14th Amendment contemporary ideas with federal law. You have to apply Second Amendment, 1791.
Right.
You got to go
there. The problem is the court didn't like say that. And so I'm worried that in federal cases, they might be bringing up all of this, you know, stuff, you know, following this tragedy. Right.
Right.
You know, because there was a lot of like shitty laws that were around in that area. Not enough to hold the candle. But
what you had was, I mean, you had, that's when gun regulation really started to see something happen, because some of the southern states were regulating guns away from black people. In fact, I would wager some of the northern states were too.
No, yeah, they definitely didn't like people who looked like me having cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The South gets picked on for being super racist because of the slavery. The North was just as racist. They just didn't have cotton fields.
Yeah, no, they were like, we have a machine, and we give them 30 cents to. Oh, and by the way, the first minimum wage law was passed in New York to protect white labor from the more efficient black labor that was coming up from the South. And they're like, wait a minute. They're taking our contracts. Like, oh, but the North, the Yankees are so wonderful and they protect us all.
Yeah. So you have these gun regulations coming in because, frankly, there were people in a majority community who did not like minority communities having some level of power. And and that's the problem with democracies in general. Democracy is tyranny of the majority. Right. And so they were passing these laws, but the 14th Amendment didn't exist yet. So the Bill of Rights is not being applied to state action until 1867 or something like that. And only then does it start. But the crazy thing,
the doctrine of incorporation.
Yeah.
It's such dog trash.
But US v. Miller is the first time that this is even, or no, it's not even a 14th Amendment issue then, was it?
No, it wasn't, because it was the federal law.
So it's not.
So they didn't have to incorporate until 2010.
Until 2010. So the Second Amendment is not applied to the state actions until 2010. I mean, it was almost
second to last right incorporated.
What's the last one?
Quartering.
Oh, quartering, the Third Amendment. Okay. Yeah. And because you just never get a quartering case.
There was one.
Yeah. Well, was it silly though?
Because sometimes silly.
I remember reading one of the quartering cases. I don't remember what year it was, but it was like two soldiers who didn't want to do parade marches, and the parade march was on like a private piece of property. And so they're like, no, this is quartering soldiers if you make us do parade action on this private property. And so therefore it's a violation of the Third Amendment. And the Supreme Court like laughed at them in that case, but I don't remember when that was.